Hello and welcome to 5 at 5, ladies and gentlemen. 5 at 5 from today will have a different set because I will do it alone again. This is how we had started 5 at 5, and I will try and do it almost every day. And if I don't, then obviously Gargi and Rohit will take over. The last few days, last few weeks, I have not been able to do many shows because business compulsions forced me to look into other things. But this is where I belong. This is what I want to do, and this is what I do best. So here I am. And today, no better day than when you see someone like a Prashant Veer go for 14 crores, when you see an Akib Nabi go for 8.4 crores, when you see a Kartik Sharma, and you can predict will go for a lot of money. The story of the IPL auction is not Cameron Green for 25.2 crores. The story of the IPL auction is what you are now seeing unfold in Abu Dhabi, the uncapped players. And you must understand that there is a method to this madness. It is not random bidding going on. People now know their research. People have done their due diligence. They know what they are talking about. They know how and why a player needs to be bid. Let me give you the example of Prashant Veer and decode it for you. And that's the macro picture. You are obviously watching the auction unfold on the host broadcast platform. So why would you want to come to another platform and understand what's going on? That's because we will explain what's going on for you. Prashant Veer going for 14 crores. First things first, 10 years back, when the IPL was 10 years old, you wouldn't get such kind of bids for uncapped players. Why? Why would you not? Because IPL scouting then was in its infancy. At that point in time, state players would still come in. Uncapped players were not the story. International stars were the story. People would come and buy the international stars and think this is the headline. IPL was still a league which had not matured as a business proposition. Today, the IPL is a mature business proposition where every franchise knows that every money spent has to be properly accounted for. Chennai Super Kings was extremely conscious that it needs someone to replace a Ravindra Jadeja in the long term. An emphasis on the words long term. Why? Because a mini auction, like Venki Mysore said, a mini auction always has its own dynamics. Please don't think about the auction as a one-off. The auction is also about the next few years. Because in a mini auction, when you have the money, you load up. You load up and build a player who will then be with you for the next few years. So if you think, like Chennai Super Kings does, that a Prashant Veer will serve the franchise well for the next few years, you build on and load up on Prashant Veer now. A Ravindra Jadeja replacement, you need a left-arm spinner, you need a Ravindra Jadeja replacement, you go for him. So auction or mini auction is also about loading up. That's why an Akib Nabi, who had a great domestic season, I spoke to Irfan Pathan. Irfan Pathan was the first one who made a recommendation about Akib Nabi, and he said to me, he's absolutely delighted. The exact words used by Irfan Pathan, quote, Akib Nabi is a bowling workhorse. That is why franchises have invested in an Akib Nabi. Great season for J&K. Great season and great advertisement for domestic cricket. So when you are watching the auction, the point that I'm trying to make to you repeatedly is that despite the auction dynamics having a bit of randomness to it, the point always is there is a method to the madness now, and that is proper business. So Akib Nabi's buy is based on a trial. Akib Nabi's buy is based on domestic performances. Akib Nabi's buy is also about branding and the future. Prashant Veer is an even better example. Kartik Sharma, I predict, could be wrong. Kartik Sharma, I predict. Akshat Raghuvamshi, who Gargi interviewed for Rev Sports earlier this morning, Akshat Raghuvamshi or Kartik Sharma should fetch Crane Fultera should fetch solid money. Crane Fultera, if you remember, Henrik Klassen said he wasn't able to pick in the Hyderabad Sunrisers nets. That's why left arm wrist spin, these days, rarity. After Kuldeep Yadav, you do not have a left arm wrist spinner really in that sense. Tabraiz Shamsi. Tabraiz Shamsi is an international player. So that's why a Crane Fultera, a Kartik Sharma, again, all-round ability, an Aqib Nabi, a Prashant Veer, a Ravindra Jadeja replacement, these uncapped players will have the bye today in Abu Dhabi and will become the headline. So I will come back to that. But let me also give you the other headlines at this point in time at 5 at 5. KKR break the bank for Cameron Green, goes for 25.2 crores. KKR also break the bank for Messi Pathirana and buy him for a staggering 18 crores. Lucknow with some smart buys, Anrik Nokia, Wanindu Hasaranga, some good buys. Delhi with some good buys in David Miller and some of the others. So the point is Venkatesh Iyer moving from KKR to playing for the Bold at 7 crores. RCB picking up Venkatesh Iyer. Rajasthan Royals picking up Ravi Bishnoi. So imagine this. There is already a comment here, and I will take questions and comments about Cam Green. So first team that I will delve into is KKR. 25.2 crores for Cam Green. Venki Mysore comes out and says that they wanted Cam Green. They have got Cam Green at a price which they say was expected. Now, 25.2 crores. Let me ask you guys, do you think it's overrated? The point is, there are not many like Cam Green in this auction. KKR, after giving up on Andre Russell, who is now the power coach, needed an all-rounder who could do the Russell job, bowl 2 overs, hit the ball big. Cam Green will bat at number 3, has excellent hands, can field at the slips, can field in the deep, will be excellent, can clear the boundary at the Eden Gardens. So Cameron Green is a perfect replacement for somebody like Andre Russell. Question is, 25 crores, is it over or less? Here's the answer. Who's this? Sonny Max. You say Cameron Green is overrated. I understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate the sentiment that you are expressing here. Maybe when it's a macro bigger auction, you are right. Orindom HEP says doesn't deserve more than 10 crores. In a big auction, in a macro auction, in a full-scale auction, Orindom or Sunny, both of you could be right. But in an accelerated, smaller auction, a mini auction, where you do not have the likes of Cameron Green, where he's a rare commodity, where market dynamics kicks in, where the demand far outstrips the supply, that is where complete randomness in auction buying takes over and the money goes through the roof, as has happened with the Cameron Green buy. That's what resulted in the 25.2 crore buy for Cameron Green. Now, what are the worries? Cameron Green is playing the Ashes. Cameron Green will play the T20 World Cup. Cameron Green will be playing consistently right through from now until March. Cricket Australia, knowing Cricket Australia, and if you, by the way, I've done my due diligence and my research. If you go and check Cricket Australia's calendar for 2026, you will know that a solid number of series are stacked up right through the year. A lot of white ball cricket stacked up for Cricket Australia, as with red ball. Cameron Green is integral to the Cricket Australia setup. Is there a possibility? Is there a possibility of Cricket Australia pulling the plug and saying, okay, much like Mitchell Marsh, you can go and play but not bowl? If that happens, can KKR absorb that and play Cameron Green as the only batting option? Orindom has already asked me, will he play the full season? Your guess is as good as mine, Orindom. And you make the perfect point here. Proshenjit Mitro, it's okay for a mini auction when the purse is huge. You are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, Proshanjit Mitro. That is what it is. In a mini auction, it has its own dynamics. It has its own, because the demand far outstrips the supply, and that is why Cameron Green got what he got, 25.2 crores. Captain, at this point in time, it still seems, based on what I am seeing here, that Ajinkya Rahane will continue to be the captain of KKR. Will they go with someone else? We've got to see. So Kartik Sharma, I'm just told, what is the price for Kartik Sharma, folks? Tell me, I've told you at the start of the show, Kartik Sharma broke the bank, CSK buys him. Folks, tell me the Kartik Sharma price, please. I predicted it at the start of the show. Give me the price, I've been live. Rohan, can you tell me the price, or Trisha? What is the price for Kartik Sharma? Okay, let me see, because Kartik Sharma, I had predicted to you guys that will go for 10 plus crores, 14.2 crores. Wow. This is what you get it called right, boss. I have been saying this about Kartik Sharma. 14.2 crores. This is what due diligence and research is all about. I told Bharat Ramraj some time back, Kartik Sharma will be as big as Prashant Veer. And Kartik Sharma, why? Because we knew it was going to happen. At the start of the show, if you guys have been with me, you know what I'm talking about. When I said Aqib Nabi, when I said Prashant Veer, I told you Kartik Sharma will go for staggering amount of money because he's an all-round commodity. He's a hard-hitting all-rounder who is rare in India. Also, you must remember that in a mini auction of 14 crores, you load up. You load up with the clear idea that Kartik Sharma will now become an asset over the next few years. There is no one alongside Hardik Pandya. Venkatesh Iyer hasn't come there. Venkatesh Iyer hasn't come there. Nitish Kumar Reddy hasn't come there. No one in India comes remotely close to a Hardik Pandya. If you talk in terms of potential and simply potential, Kartik Sharma is up there. And because of that fact, and I'm also telling you, I am predicting Akshat Raghuvangshi to also go for a decent amount of money. Should happen. Like you saw the case of Kartik Sharma. And by the way, you saw it unfold right in front of you. I predicted it at the start of the show 12 minutes back. It happened within 10 minutes. That's research. And this brings me to the larger point of scouting. Because the IPL scouts, the kind of due diligence that we are now seeing in the IPL with proper research has completely changed the game, and that is what the franchises are banking on. That is what, ladies and gentlemen, the franchises are banking on, and that is what I told you at the start of the show. Come to CSK. CSK have two uncapped players, a Prashant Veer and a Kartik Sharma. Tremendous buys. And you know why? Because a Prashant Veer and a Kartik Sharma are like stock market buys. You invest in startups, knowing some startups at least that this startup has the ability of becoming a multi-million-dollar concern. And once it becomes a multi-million-dollar concern, I will reap my dividends. Prashant Veer and Kartik Sharma are both such buys for CSK. CSK is known for its scouting. CSK, MS Dhoni, they are known for their scouting. Tremendous work once again by Kashi Vishwanath and his team. Tremendous work by CSK. Absolutely do not grudge this. Do not grudge this. Kartik Sharma is a tremendous investment going forward. And I'm telling you, watch out for this man. We've been talking him up for the last few days. We even, if you remember, I did that mock auction for Ravichandran Ashwin. And we were team KKR there. We kept going for Kartik Sharma till we had the money. So that's the story. The story here is the uncapped players. Whether it's a Kartik Sharma for 14 crores, whether it's a Prashant Veer for 14 crores, whether it's an Aqib Nabi for 8.4 crores. I am not sure how much money is left with the team still, but if they have the money, I am telling you, Akshat Raghuvangshi will also get a solid buy. Will get a solid buy. Let's now go. I've done KKR, I've done CSK. Once again, let me tell you, CSK is smart. Very, very smart. You invest in a player like this, you build that player, and then he becomes a real star. Quickly, let's take some questions. Debanjon Mondol, Cam Green, he's available to bowl in this IPL. At this point, he is Debanjon. At this point, he is. He's got to play 3 more tests of the Ashes. He's got to play the T20 World Cup. There will be workload management issues. Australia has enormous amount of cricket next year. One can only hope that Cameron Green does bowl for KKR. Orindom again. Boriada Kartik's a goodbye, great investment. Absolutely. Like I said, any surprises on players who went unsold? Sunny. I thought Prithvi Shaw would get a buyer. I absolutely thought Prithvi Shaw would get a buyer. I thought Liam Livingston will get a buyer. I honestly think he might just come back. I think he might just come back. You know, I think Liam Livingston will come back. And these are the people who I think have gone unsold, which is a bit of a surprise for me. Let me also analyze some of the other teams very quickly for you. Lucknow, the 2 buys that they've got, Anrique Nokia and Wanindu Hasaranga, very Bharatarun. Bharatarun picking up Mohammad Shami could be a make and break for Lucknow. He knows the Ekana. If the Ekana has that kind of a pitch which kind of holds up, Wanindu Hasaranga will be an absolute gem. They've also picked up Anrique Nokia, but who's going to be the top 4? You have a Mitchell Marsh, you have an Aiden Markram, you have a Nicholas Puran, you have now picked up a Wanindu Hasaranga, and you have also picked up an Anrique Nokia. You can play 4 foreigners. So who are the 4 foreigners that you're going to play? You will have to bench one between Anrique and Wanindu. I think Lucknow will go for another Indian bowler. I think Lucknow will do that. I think KKR, they've gone for a Finn Allen. They said Sunil Narayan and Finn Allen at the start, and then Cam Green. I think KKR will break the bank. They've done it for Messi Pathirana. That has closed their fast bowling problem. So KKR there. We've done Lucknow, Delhi. They've got some Sarfaraz Khan. Shishir, you are right. I did think Sarfaraz Khan deserved the team. I absolutely think Sarfaraz Khan deserved the team. Thank you for pointing that out to me. I do think, Shishir, Sarfaraz Khan deserved the team. Let me just also consult some of the other ones. Trisha, my producer, has sent me some notes on some of the others. 1 second. Ta-da-da-da. Okay. So, Venkatesh Iyer. Trisha wants me to delve a little bit more on Venkatesh Iyer. I think Venkatesh Iyer has gone for a fair price. 7 crores is a decent price for Venkatesh Iyer. I thought he would go for a little more. If you asked me at the start of the auction, I would have said between 8 and 10 crores. Venkatesh Iyer is again a rare commodity. He will bowl you a couple of overs. He has the ability to bat top of the order. He has the ability to bat middle order. Did not have the best season last year. The value has fallen from 23.5 crores to 7 crores. But he's definitely a good buy. An RCB, very smart. They've got a Krunal Pandya. They have a Venkatesh Iyer. They have a Tim David, who is at his absolute best. And they have a beast in Romario Shepherd. So when you think that RCB lineup, all of a sudden you have a Virat Kohli, you have a Rajat Patidar, you have a Venkatesh Iyer, you then have a Tim David, you have a Romario Shepherd, you have a Krunal Pandya, and you know there is enormous amount of firepower in that RCB lineup. I think RCB has got it right again. Because Tim David is perhaps the best example of how people can come into their own in a certain year. And that's what happened with the RCB last year. Rajasthan Royals investing in a Ravi Bishnoi had to happen. You've given up on a Ravi Ashwin, who's now become a media person in his own right. You needed a spinner. You've got someone there. Will they invest in another fast bowler? We've got to wait and see. Matt Henry going unsold is a bit of a surprise for me also, Omorto. I would have gone for Matt Henry. I think Kolkata Knight Riders would have gone for Matt Henry had it not broken the bank for Messi Pathirana. So Phil Salt, yes. I mean, Phil Salt, I forgot to mention at RCB. Look at that lineup. Phil Salt, Virat Kohli, Rajat Patidar, Venkatesh Iyer, Krunal Pandya, Tim David, and Romario Shepherd. Now, Josh Hazelwood, boy. RCB is some team, just a spinner. Just a spinner. They've also got, just a proper, a good spinner, Krunal Pandya, to help a Krunal Pandya. RCB is a top-notch side. Where are they playing? Will RCB play in Pune, like it is being said, or will RCB play at the Chinnaswamy, is the question. When I met Anil Kumble in Hyderabad 3 days back, he said Venkatesh Prasad was meeting the CM and the Deputy CM. Talks are progressing very well, and they are very hopeful that RCB will continue to play at the Chinnaswamy. If that happens, then RCB has got the team, has absolutely got the team to defend the title. Coming to other teams, the ones that I have not touched so far, I've done KKR, I've done RCB, I've done CSK, I've done LSG, I've done DC, I've touched upon Rajasthan Royals, Mumbai Indians. They get Quinton de Kock back. They did not have much money. They only had a couple of crores. And what does that mean? Because they had a couple of crores means that in the trade, in the pre-auction period, Mumbai Indians has already done their job, and they've done the job to perfection. They did not have to do anything else at the auction. Any team like a KKR or anyone else who comes in with a 40 crore, 50 crore, 60 crore bucket means you do not have the pre-auction buys sorted. You have to come to a mini auction and get your team done. Mumbai Indians, they already had it done in the pre-auction stage. So Mumbai Indians did not have to do much, just was there. Quinton de Kock was a very smart buy, as Sunny Mac says. Absolutely, Quinton de Kock was a very smart buy. Will Akashdeep get a team? I think he will. I think Akashdeep will get a team in the second round. So freaking awesome why Kyle Myers has not been bought. He had played well as an opener for LSG. He did. And he's still plying his trade in some of the other leagues around the world. So Kyle Myers, but I don't think he will get a team here, because you've not. Now the teams are very smart. A foreign slot is worth in gold. You have just foreign slots. Everyone is talking about Ashok Sharma. Yes, he is good. Ashok Sharma, yes, he is very good, Omorto. We had mentioned 5. We had mentioned an Ashok Sharma, Kartik Sharma. We have mentioned an Akib Nabi. Bharat Ramraj did the story. Shubhayan Chakraborty Shomik Chakraborty had also done the story. We had mentioned the Prashant Veer. We had mentioned the Rakshat Raghuvangshi. We are also going to mention a Crane Fultera. A Crane Fultera should get a decent buy. Why GT not buy Miller? Because Miller, I think, who's this? MD Raihan. MYGT did not buy Miller because Miller now uses about 4 or 5 balls to get into groove before he starts tonking the ball. And the new template of T20 cricket that you are seeing now, you have to go from ball 1. You will tell me that in that match against India, Miller did get it away. That is because Jasprit Bumrah and Arshdeep Singh were bowling full tosses. In that particular match, they did not have the luck to get the Yorkers, right? And because of that, David Miller and Donovan Ferreira were able to get off. But if you really delve deep, clearly, you will know that David Miller is not the same person who can come and hit from ball 1. GT picks up Ashok Sharma. Goodbye. Raj Limbani was there at the under-19 level. Since then, hasn't been able to really set the Kartik Sharma, fantastic pick. Who's this? Madhan Raghuram. Kartik Sharma is a very good pick. Prashant Veer is a very good pick. Akib Nabi is a very good pick. Rachin Ravindra will go unsold is what I had predicted. And Rachin Ravindra, even in our close quarters, we had been saying that Rachin will go, because Rachin's skill, being a foreigner, is not something that will stand out in a mini auction. You are not a fast bowler. You are not a medium pace bowling all-rounder like a Cam Green. So you will not fit in that box. Kartik Tyagi to KKR is a good buy. Small amount of pass. You want a backup. You want a backup to your Indian fast bowlers. You need a card. So because see, you have left a Spencer Johnson. Previous year, you had left a Mitchell Stark. You've now got a Messi Pathirana to fill that slot. You gave up on an Andre Russell. You've now got a Cameron Green to fill that slot. You already have a Vaibhav Arora, you have a Harshit Rana, now you've gotten a Kartik Tyagi as a backup to these boys. So clearly, this is the strategy. Something happens to a Harshit or a Vaibhav, you've got a Kartik Tyagi to come in. Kartik Tyagi, extremely talented, hasn't really flowered like the way we thought since his under 19 days, but went and played for Hyderabad, went and played for Rajasthan, now will come and play at the Eden Gardens. If the wicket's decent, Kartik Tyagi could be a reasonably decent buy. KKR overspending? You know what? Who's this? Again, Raghuram? I don't think so. Cameron Green, when you think 25 crores, I think it's overpriced. But when I think in terms of the dynamics of the auction, I absolutely think, oh, you've got Umran Malik. Absolutely. And Umran Malik, I think, will play. Someone reminded me, Shauradip Dash. Thank you very much, Shauradip. Thank you for reminding me about Umran, and Umran will play. So that express space is done. Vaibhav, Harshit, Umran, Kartik allows me to play that extra foreigner. Allows me, Sunil Narayan will open along with Finn Allen. So 2 foreigners done. You will have a Cameron Green. So 1, 2, 3. And then you will have Messi Pathirana. So that is your 4 foreigner stock that you will go with KKR. So Sunil Narayan, Finn Allen, Messi Pathirana, and Cam Green could be the 4 foreigners that KKR put on the park as the top 4 foreigners in the first game. So again, as you can see, pretty smart. Jamie Smith instead of Finn Allen? Yes, you can absolutely say that. There was a Ben Duckett. Delhi got a Ben Duckett for a couple of crores. All of these people, a Finn Allen, Jamie Smith, Ben Duckett, all very similar kind of players. I do not see a Finn Allen being very, less in terms of talent compared to some of the others. So I don't think there's much between a Jamie Smith and, because look, you have to understand this. You are saying this based on what you've seen of Jamie Smith in England. You have not seen Jamie Smith perform in Indian soil. You have not seen Jamie Smith encounter spin or these tracks. Finn Allen has played in these conditions before. We've not seen that. Jamie Smith, you are anticipating the same form that you have seen against India in England in English conditions. You are extrapolating that and putting that into Jamie Smith's form here for KKR or a possible franchise. I don't think that is the case. So I don't see Finn Allen to be any less a buy for KKR. Mayank Yadav play this season is $1 million question, which I don't think even Mayank Yadav has the answer to. Mayank Yadav will, from what I know, from team sources, from Lucknow, should be ready in Jan. The best decision Lucknow could have taken is Bharat Arun. Mohammad Shami is the best buy that Lucknow have taken. Mohammad Shami under Bharat Arun could be the last big hurrah of his career, could be a make or break. So that one. So Lucknow, with the Hasaranga buy, with the Anrik buy, has actually got it right because they left Akashdeep, they left Bishnoi, they have kept a Mayank Yadav, and they've got an Avesh Khan. Remember? So these were the guys who were all there for Lucknow. So Mayank Yadav, I am told, will be fit by January, but we have to go and see. KKR, 75 lakhs, yeah, because they've got their buys. And with Abhishek Nair, you know you have a clear research and proper planning. Abhishek Nair with his 1, 2, 3, a Finn Allen, a Sunil Narayan, and of course Cameron Green. And then you stacked up with your Indian bowling, a Harshit Rana, Vaibhav Arora. You have a Varun Chakravarti to come and bowl spin. You have a Sunil Narayan there. Now you've thrown in, Kartik Tyagi. Akash Madwal unsold. I do understand where Akash Madwal, again, because of these other guys, the uncapped ones, Akash Madwal could have been picked up for base price. Some team could have picked up Akash Madwal. Somewhat surprising, but I do understand. Boria Dada, we have a great pace lineup. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. There's no debate. Mayank Yadav has to work on his bowling, freaking awesome. Bit of help with the bowling coach to avoid. There is no better one freaking awesome than Bharat Arun to help Mayank Yadav sort his problems out. In India, the best bowling coach that I know is Bharat Arun. So Sanjeev Goenka getting Bharat Arun was a big one. Should KKR go for Bairstow? 100%. You've gone for a Finn Allen. You can go for a Johnny Bairstow because a Ben Duckett has already gone to Delhi. A second backup wicketkeeper option like a Jamie Smith or a Johnny Bairstow, absolutely. There is a Liam Livingston also who can be brought back. I was very surprised to see a Liam Livingston not get a team. So that's my auction take for the 30 minutes. I mean, time flies when you do the show with you guys. And as I said, I will try and do 5 at 5 myself, because this has been a show that had my stamp. The team was doing it. Gargi and Rohit and people were doing a fine job, but they will do the show on days that I'm not available, on days that I do manage to get out time. This is something that I would want to come and spend with you. Thikshana were decent for RR. Yes, I agree. SRH could have gone for him. SRH, think about it. It is a ground which will fetch you 250 runs every day. So when SRH keeps that in mind, they will have to calibrate basis that. KKR will try for a second wicketkeeper option is my assumption, whether it is a Jamie Smith, whether it is a Johnny Bairstow. So before I end, couple of minutes on the Messi disaster and the football. Look, now we know that Kolkata was a disaster. Every time I pass through Lake Town and I will see that 70-foot statue, I will be reminded of the fact that a Lionel Messi comes to my city and goes back to Miami, goes back to the United States or to Argentina without kicking a ball. What can be worse? We've just been told that the sports minister has tendered his resignation in Bengal. For the time being, the chief minister has assumed the charge of the sports ministry. We have also been told, there is a press release, that a lot of senior bureaucrats and police officers have been show-caused. We now know that this has become a full-blown investigation and an election issue. But beyond all of this, the fact of the matter is a Lionel Messi comes to Calcutta, goes back without kicking a football. And also, let me remind you, anyone who's watching, in the 3 days that he was in India, a Lionel Messi goes back 120 crores richer or 100 crore richer. No one grudges him the money he's got. He's a global superstar, extreme adulation, extreme amount of money is not new to him. Absolutely fine. Lionel Messi goes back with 100 crores. But on the other side of the coin, there is no bidder. There is no bidder for the ISL. There is no bidder for the I-League. That is the truth of Indian football. We are splurging 100 crores on Leo Messi. Yes, it is private money. But on the other side, there is no bidder for the ISL. There is no bidder for the I-League. So as far as Indian footballers are concerned, suppose you are an Indian footballer. When you are watching this show, hand on heart, ask yourself, people have spent this kind of money on Leo Messi to even go and watch. Would they spend 100 rupees to go and watch an Indian football game? Will the corporates come forward and back the ISL? Will they back the I-League? And if they don't, what is the future, ladies and gentlemen, of Indian football? The jury is out. I will be back with 5 at 5 tomorrow. Plenty to talk about. It's match day in Lucknow. Can India clinch the series? Can Gautam Gambhir once again register a white ball series win against South Africa? Will Surya Kumar Yadav come back to form? Will Shubman Gill, who spent time out there in the middle in the last game, manage to get back into some real good form and score some runs? Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma did that in Australia. Virat, 2 failures in Sydney, made it count. Rohit in the second game, after struggling, made it count and then got 100 in the third. Can Shubman Gill use the time spent out in the middle and make it count in Lucknow? Will Surya Kumar Yadav finally stand up? Not too many games left. That's all I have for you at 5 at 5. Join me now every day. As I said, I will be with you sharing this time between 5 and say 5:35, 40. Thank you very much for watching.